Hey, welcome back. All right, so in this tutorial, we're going to build on the door tutorial we did last time, where we made a single door. The player moves towards it into the trigger volume, and the trigger volume will cause the door to open. This time, we're going to basically leave all that the same, except we're going to widen the door frame, and we're going to add a second door and set it up so that both doors will open both in the same direction instead of, opposite, if we didn't change things around a little bit. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at what I'm talking about. Okay, so here's the double door. If I hit play, and then I move up to the door, the sound, the door is open, and I can move right through it, and then when I leave, the doors will close, and it'll work in both directions. Okay, and here's the blueprint for that. Basically, we're leaving everything the same. The only thing I did do was I commented these out, and I will show you exactly how I did that. Basically, I just highlighted this part of the blueprint up to this section here, highlighted it, hit Control or hit the C button, and then typed in this is open and close door, and this will be highlight this, and this will be play sound. So everything from the sequence to the branch over this way. All we've really done is we've gone into the timeline. We've modified the timeline to have a left and right side door. And we've also set it up so that we have two relative rotations so that the doors will open in the right direction. So a left door and a right door. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump in and start making this. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go into our content drawer. We're going to go to our blueprints and interactables where we put this at, and I'm going to select that door, and we're going to do a Control D, and we're going to duplicate that door, and we're going to call this I'm just going to call this door double and regular. So this will tell us that it's just the regular door that we've made, and it works the same way as this door, except it's going to be a double door. We're going to double click and open that up, and we're going to save it. And now we've got all of our basic blueprints still in there, but this is still set up as a single door. So we're going to have to change out our door frame, and we're going to have to add a second door in there. Okay, so let's go ahead and make that door as well, because right now we have just this one single door. And if we take a look in our content drawer, so if I select this, hit the little button there, in our starter content under props, we have these two doors, but they are singles. So we're going to have to duplicate these. We don't want to modify the original one because we're already using it, and we're going to use it for other things as well. So we're going to have to duplicate this door. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit Control D, and I'm going to call this door underscore actually right. This will be the right door. And I'm just going to leave the other one alone as door for now so we don't change it. And then I'm going to hit Control D, and for the door frame, I'm going to change this from door frame. I'm going to just put door double frame. Okay, so just kind of like that. I'm going to open both of these up. Actually, we don't need to open them up, my bad. Let's go ahead and do a file save all, because we're not going to change anything in there. So we're just going to go ahead and close that back up. What we actually want to do is we're going to drag them into our scene right here. So I'm going to take the door right and the double door frame. I'm going to select them both. I'm also going to select the original door too. We just got to make sure we don't get confused by which one's which when we start modifying things. So I'm going to drag all three of them into the scene here. Okay. And again, we have to kind of line things up. So I'm going to make sure that I grab the correct door. So I go to the outliner. See, we have all the doors right here. I want to make sure I just grab door 2. I'm going to drag it over so that it's lined up the way it's supposed to be. And again, if we go into the details section, it should have been moved over just ever so much. And then I'm going to take this door kind of move it over just like that. I'm going to leave it the way it is in orientation right now so we know that that's the door we're going to want to modify here in a minute. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to modify the door frame. So this door frame, I'm going to select the door frame. I'm going to go into selection mode and go to modeling right up here at the top. And now with that door selected, I'm going to go ahead and select model. And we're going to want to do a polygroup edit. I'm going to select the door again because we lost it. And down here, if we take a look, we see we have our scale sizes here. So right now it's one door width wide. And we want to go in the Y direction. So it should be, if we click on the yellow for the scale, which is the bottom one, and we hit 2 and hit enter, it should automatically double that for us. And now let's select our 2 doors again. Let's go ahead and accept. I'm going to select the 2 doors. I'm going to slide it over just to make sure everything kind of lines up like it's supposed to. And it's not bad. It'll line up. Got a little bit of extra space between the door there, but I just think I'm just not perfectly aligned here on the door frame. We can kind of see that. So I could just select this door and slide it over just a little bit. Something like that. I think that'll work. Okay, so now we got that door selected, and if we go back into our content drawer, now we can see that that double frame is actually a double frame. Let's go ahead and do a file save all real quick. Now let's pick the left door, or the, I guess actually we're looking at it from this direction, so it's the left door, but this is actually the direction that everything is going to be set up to rotate. So this is going to be the right door right here. So we want the red arrow facing us, okay? Now, what we need to do is we need to rotate this door, but if we go into details and take a look at it, right now it's all zeroed out. So with that door selected and still in modeling mode, let's go to X-form, and we're going to edit the pivot on this door. So I'm going to select the edit pivot, and I want to rotate it so that this yellow, or this, well, it's normally yellow, but right now it's green, I guess. When I highlight it, it's yellow. So the Y-axis, I'm going to select it, and I'm going to drag it 90 degrees, or 180 degrees, rather. Sorry, not 90 degrees. And down here, I'm just going to type in 180 to make sure it pops all the way over. I'm going to hit accept. And now, what happened is, if we take a look, it's no longer 0, 0, 0, it's 0, 0, 180. So if I hit the return button to change everything to 0 here, it flips over. So now it is rotated around, and if I drag it back over, it is in the right orientation. So if I do a file, save all, I go back into the content drawer, we'll see that our doors, the door handles are actually facing the opposite directions here. This one's towards us and this one's back from us. So now we have a left door and we have a right door. And if we really wanted to, it would be okay to be able to go ahead and rename this SM door right here to left door. And I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now that we've got everything all set up, I'm going to name this one door underscore left. Now that's going to change my default door to be left. So now if I go back into some of the other things I've already done, actually it's still going to be saying door. So we're okay. All right, compile, save everything. And so now we've got everything all set up the way we want it to be. All right. So let's go ahead and go into our door double regular right here where we made that blueprint and we duplicated it. We're going to do a file, save all. If I select this door, notice it says that it's now an SM door left. I am going to, up here, I'm going to rename this underscore left so I can keep track of which one's the left door and which one's the right door. And don't worry, it's already updated our references to it here. So now we're good. Now, the other thing I'm going to want to do is I'm going to go to this door frame, and instead of having the SM door frame, I'm going to want to change it out to be double door frame. I'm going to select that, and now it's going to be our double door frame. And we can change this name from door frame to door double frame. And the last thing we're going to need to do is we're going to need to go into our content drawer, and we're going to want to drag this right-hand door up into our scene right here onto the default route. And we want it to actually be on the default route. There we go. So now everything should be kind of equal, set up like this. We're going to compile. Let's go to our viewport real quick because we're going to have to fix some things, right? Everything's going to be all kind of messed up. So let's select the door frame. Make sure the door frame is at 0, 0, 0, 0, and it is. So the next thing we're going to want to do is we're going to take the left door and we're going to drag it to the left, line it up. So this should be 0, and this should be about 90, okay? Because this door width, when we move everything over, we have about 180 from one side to the other. This door should be set at 90. And if we go to the right door, we're going to want to set it up at negative 90. It should just pop in just like that. Now we've got our door frame set up correctly. We're going to go ahead and save that. Let's go back into our event graph. We're going to need to also update this. So our timeline. So if we double click on it, it'll open it up for us. This door rotation, let's go ahead and rename this left underscore door rotation. And we're going to leave it alone. So the door should rotate exactly the same way that the left door did before. And let's go ahead and just double check that to make sure I'm not just making things up. So let's go into our content drawer, into our sandbox area, and let's go ahead and find our interactables and find our double door frame. Okay, and it should be facing us. So now if I hit play, the only one that should actually open right now should be the left door. And actually, because I broke everything, it's not going to do it. Okay, so what I figured out, and I don't know why it did this, but maybe it's because we renamed this door left. But basically, I had to delete this. So if I deleted this, and then I had to redrag the door left back into this, even though it should have worked because it's the exact same, variable for this particular door. Perhaps it isn't, and even though it reads the same. And now, if I hit play, this is what should have happened. The left door should have opened. Don't know why it didn't, but lesson learned. Okay. So now we got that fixed. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to now, inside of our timeline, now that we've checked to make sure that this is indeed the left door and is working the way it's supposed to, we're going to go ahead and add a track. And it's going to be another float track. And we're going to call this one right underscore door rotation. And again, it's going to be just like this one. So we're going to go ahead and right click, add a key. It's almost going to be like this one, actually. So we're going to hit 0 for the time. And for the initial start, it's also going to be 0. So this is going to be 0, 0. And then we're going to right click on it again. And we're going to add a key float. And on this one, because remember, we're out at 3 seconds right here, we're going to go ahead and make this at 3. And instead of negative 110 like we did above, we're going to go positive 110. So we're just going to go 110. And now if I hit F on the keyboard, it should look like this. And remember, we also want it to not be linear. We want it to be, if we right click on it, we want to use the user. We want to use an ease in and ease out so that it doesn't just automatically hit full speed as soon as we go to open it. There's a little bit of a lag as it starts to open. And we're going to do that for both of these. We're going to select user for both of those. We're going to compile and save it. And now if we go back into our event graph, we should have right door rotation. Now, it's going to be pretty much the same. I'm going to go ahead and select these two. And I'm going to hit Control D and duplicate it. I'm just going to put this in line. Make sure I connect it up. Grab all of this and slide it down. And this output is also going to go into the Z-axis. And it's going to go right there. And we can just double click on it if we want to kind of clean it up a little bit and just work it around like that. Let's go ahead and compile and... forgot to add the target. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab our door and plug that in. Here we go. Now let's compile it and save it. If we go back in, we should be able to hit play. And both doors should open. Because it's got the same logic as the first door we created, we should not have to worry about anything else. The sound and everything else should be working exactly the same way. Okay, so now that we've got everything working, there's one other issue that we're going to have to take care of. And it's kind of hard to see, but when I hit the play button and I run up to the door will open, but I can't move to the left or the right. I have to go straight down the middle of the door. And that's because if I were to shut this off, and let's go ahead and take a real quick look at our collisions. So the way we can do that is over here under the eye in the viewport, go down and turn on collisions. And all the collisions that are in the scene will show up. Now if we take a look, we can see that we have this weird thing happening here. This purple lines here in the middle are from the old door frame. They match the old door frame. When we stretched the door out, it did not change the collisions for this door frame. So we're going to have to fix that real quick. The way we're going to do that is we go back into our double doors and pick the door frame. Then if we can double click on it right here, it'll open up the door frame. And again, if we go in here and we were to see our collisions, so we're going to do a simple collision. You can see that this is the door frame and it's in the wrong spot. We need to stretch it out, right? So we're going to go into collision right here. We're going to remove this collision. And then we're going to come over here and we're going to just leave these all default because we don't want to make this too complicated. We're just going to hit apply. And now we can see that our door frame collision matches correctly. We're going to go ahead and save that. If we go back into Sandbox, you'll see that our door frame now matches the way it's supposed to. And if I hit play, now I can actually use the entire frame of the door. Okay, so that's it. Hopefully you're able to keep up and I didn't confuse you or lose you. If you liked this tutorial, don't forget to hit the like button down at the bottom. Make sure you subscribe so you can follow along with the rest of the tutorials we're working on for this project. And thanks for playing. I'll see you next time.